We have so much news coming from NIO over the past week. My favorite piece of news, let's start immediately with that. My favorite piece of news is that NIO is going to be acquired by Xiaomi next year. So one of the Chinese analysts wrote a note that NIO apparently may be acquired by Xiaomi, and we all remember that NIO was supposed to be acquired by BYD a couple of months ago, but it was simply not true. Another piece of news is that NIO is going to be included in the Hang Seng Index, and it potentially can give a massive boost to NIO stock. We're going to talk about that. And Chery will be the first company that will use NIO's battery swap technologies and battery swap stations, the first company that is not NIO. We're going to discuss all of these news and a little bit more, and we will talk about my unsuccessful investment in NIO. I will tell you everything about this in this video. Hello and welcome to the Market Monkeys channel. My name is Vadim, and today we have to talk about a gazillion catalysts for NIO, and pretty much all of them from last week, so these are fresh news. But before we begin, I have to tell one thing. So on this channel we have been criticized a lot that we don't like NIO very much, which is simply not true. So today, in today's video, all of the catalysts will be positive ones, and all of the news will be good news for NIO investors, so buckle up. We will start with the Q4 results. Q4 results, we have heard about them for a couple of weeks now, but I just want to kind of reiterate on what happened and what are the implications of Q4 results for the rest of 2025. So Q4 results, when the guidance for Q4 came out in September, October, I kind of looked at it and I did not really believe that NIO management would hit these targets, because NIO management is sometimes overly ambitious and overly optimistic about what the company actually can do. So when they came out and they said that they are going to deliver between 72 and 75,000 vehicles, and in addition in December they will deliver 10,000+ Onvo vehicles, I was a bit skeptical, because in September Onvo's delivery was 1,000 and something, so I could not imagine they can ramp up the production that much. But NIO had announced a record delivery of 31,000+ vehicles in December, representing an increase of almost 73% year-over-year in deliveries. So this is a huge milestone. The delivery consisted of 20,000 vehicles from the NIO brand, the major brand for NIO, and 10,528 vehicles from the Onvo brand. So I'm willing to eat my hat, and I'm willing to say kudos to the management of NIO. They have delivered on everything. They have delivered on their guidance and on the production of Onvo. The next milestone for the company to hit is to deliver 20,000 vehicles of Onvo brand by March 2025. Again, is it possible? I'm not really sure. It seems very optimistic and very ambitious, but for now the management shown that they can hit the milestones which they set, so let's see. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time to talk about Q4 results, and there is a lot to talk about. Both the increase in margins, which is a great piece of news, about the cannibalization claims. If you remember, Julia made a video about cannibalization of Onvo brand for NIO brand. So now the NIO brand is back to the 20,000 vehicles plus, and they are kind of back to this pre-cannibalization start. So we can talk about all of that. If it interests you, we can record another video on the implication of Q4 results for the rest of 2025. Let us know in the comments. By the way, if you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to, you can become a member of the Market Monkeys channel. Alright, now let's talk about the crazy stuff. So there is a piece of news. One of the analyst companies, one of the investment companies in China, which goes by the name of Haitong International. So they have decided to play Nostradamus, and they have decided to put a note of top 5 predictions for 2025. And one of the predictions is that NIO is going to be acquired by Xiaomi, because apparently Xiaomi's management loves the whole battery swap technology so much that they are going to acquire NIO. One of other predictions from this node is that X, the Elon's Twitter company, is going to acquire TikTok for about $200 billion, and Trump's social media truth something, which is called, for $12 billion. That's one of their predictions. The other prediction is, check this out, Intel is going to split into fab and fabless companies, and they are going to sell all the fabs to Qualcomm, which will create a joint venture with Taiwan Semiconductors, and they will call this joint ventures ASMC. Get it? So like TSMC is Taiwan Semiconductors, ASMC is like probably American Semiconductors. So besides that this is like utterly insane, there is such a thing already, which is called ASMC, and it's Advanced Semiconductor Manufacturing Conference, which again relates to semiconductors in US, and it's kind of a big conference. So this is like crazy stuff. It's not going to happen, and both the management of NIO and the management of Xiaomi were quick to go to Weibo and said that there is no such plans. The NIO's branding VP Ma Lin said that there are no merger talks, and Xiaomi PR boss gave the weirdest response ever. He wrote that people can choose from one of the responses. First response is, ask the guys who made this up. Second response was, we don't comment on third-party fantasies. And third response was, wait, what year is it? Who ordered dumplings? So I assume this probably sounds better in Chinese than in English. So this is all crazy news. Obviously, it's not going to happen. What is probably going to happen is that NIO will be included in the Hang Seng Index. So just to remind you, NIO is already included in the Hang Seng Composite Index and Hang Seng Technology Index from about 2022. So currently there are talks to include it in the main Hang Seng Index, and this is a major news. So just if you're not familiar with these indexes and what they represent, the Hang Seng Composite Index is something like S&P Total Market Index. So pretty much all of the stocks on the market are included there. The technology index is something like Nasdaq 100. So mostly the technology companies. The Hang Seng Index is the flagship index of Chinese stock market. It's something like S&P 500 or Dow Jones. So the biggest index, the most traded one, if you will. So I probably don't have to tell you what it means for NIO stock if they will be included. All of the investment financial companies which create ETFs, which follow this index, will have to go and buy stock of NIO, which potentially will boost NIO stock a lot. The decision whether NIO will be included in the index or not will be made on February 21st, so watch out for that. And the implementation of the adjustment will be on March 10th. So again, this is a huge catalyst for NIO and potentially can boost the stock a lot. One more interesting piece of news for NIO is that we have a first company, which is not NIO, who will be using NIO stations and battery swap technologies, and this company will be Chery. So Chery sub-brand Exceed has partnered with NIO to build battery swap enabled models that will go on sale in the third quarter of 2025, according to automotive blogger whose name I will not be able to pronounce because it's in Chinese. So the blogger shared an image showing the information on Weibo, saying it came from Chery's annual media conference. The image shows two models, including SUV and a sedan. What's interesting is that NIO's vice president took this post on Weibo and reposted it, so kind of confirming the news. So in Q3 2025, we will have a first vehicle which is not from NIO to use NIO infrastructure. Alright, now let's talk about my investment in NIO and what I think about the company and all of the plans. So if you remember in the previous videos, I was talking about investing in NIO, but investing in call options for NIO because the stock is too volatile, the management is kind of too volatile for me. So what I wanted to do is to buy call options for something like 9 months or a year to see what will happen with these call options. If for some reason in this year NIO will become this great profitable company with predictable earnings, amazing margins, I will just exercise my options and will sit on NIO stock. So what I decided for myself is that I'm going to buy these call options if NIO stock drops below $4 per share. And NIO stock last week reached 4.02. And I remember I was sitting looking at this number and thinking like 2 cents, really? But then I decided no. I said $4, it's gonna be $4. And now NIO jumped back to 4.50, something like that. And I kind of feel so stupid about this. Because first of all of this was because of 2 cents. And second of all, there are so many new good catalysts for the stock for the upcoming year that I'm kind of feeling like I maybe missed the train. But anyway, I'm not going to do the whole FOMO thing and run after the stock and buy it right now. I said $4, it's gonna be $4. I'm sorry, by the way, NIO investors, I'm not wishing for NIO stock to drop, but I kind of hope it does for just one day for me to buy it below $4 per share. So let me know in the comments what are your NIO holdings and which catalyst are you looking forward to the most in the upcoming month. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us. Don't forget to press the like button on this video, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you next time. Take care.